Hello, it's Mr. Toops, the Jedi. I believe today you're going to be doing your final exam review, part 2. Life is good. The exam schedule is posted in this assignment in Canvas, so make sure you know when you're taking it. Read over this. You may even want to watch this video the night before your test. Okay, so on problem 1, I'm going to go through and do all these for you because the odds and evens are not the same. But you're going to need to do this in a spreadsheet, aren't you? Okay. So you're going to do this in a spreadsheet and do menu 413, right? And it's going to give you the M and the B. And it's going to match up, okay? So I'm going to go to the calculator. I'm going to go to new. I want to do a new document. I'm going to do 4 add a spreadsheet. I need to put X and Y at the top. Now that I'm going to put in my spreadsheet, -2, -1, 0, and 1 for the X's. And then I'm going to plug in -14, -11, -8, and -5 for my Y's. So I have my spreadsheet in there. Make sure your cursor box is blue. There's no cursor in it, and it's not over a number. Now the menu, statistics is 4, stack calculations is 1, linear regression is 3, X down, Y down, and then hit enter. So my slope is 3 and my y-intercept's -8. So I'm going to go back to my paper. So my M is equal to -3, my B is equal to 8, and it's going to match up to none of these, or I'm sorry, it's +3 in it. My M is +3, the B is -8. Sorry about that. And it's going to match up to this one right here in it. Also notice on this right here is going to be my y-intercept in it because it's the input at 0, okay? I start off at 0, I have -8. So the answer to number 1 is A. Number 2, make sure you can get the x and y-intercept of a line. And remember, the x-intercept is called your 0. It's also called a root. And it's also the solution to the equation, okay? So this one right here, my y-intercept is 4, and my x-intercept is 8. So what is the x and y-intercept? The x-intercept is 8, and the y-intercept is 4. As an ordered pair, this would be 8, 0. This would be 0, 4. Number 3, make sure you know these words for the x-intercept, okay? Very important you know those. Number 3, circle the 3 words that is the same thing as a 0 of a function. The 0 of a function is the x-intercept. It's also called a root, and it's also a solution, okay? So make sure you know the 0 is all of those things. The 0 of a function represents the domain value that outputs a 0 for the range value. This value will be the x-intercept of the function. This is very important. You understand this. Number 4, this is a gx plus s problem. So we have 2 numbers in here. Which one would be your growing number? The growing number is 15 cents, right? This would be my starting number. So my equation should be 1.5x plus 20, and that matches up to A. All the others are wrong, aren't they? This is not difficult. Number 5. What are ordered pairs? The solution of this? All you have to do is put the x and y's in. So I'm going to write this down, and then I'm going to put all these x's and y's into that inequality. The correct one's going to be true. So let's go to your calculator. I'm going to hit home. I want to calculate, and now that I'm going to type in. So my first one is 3, 6. So I'm going to put 6. And then I'm going to hit control equal, and I need a less than. And then it's 3 times, and my x is 3, and then -5. So this is the y equal 3x minus 5. I did this, and it's false. So I'm going to go back to my paper. This right here is false. Now then for this one, this is my x, this is my y. I'm going to do -1 less than 3 times 5 minus 5. Got it? That's what it's going to look like on the calculator. On this one right here, I'm going to do my x and my y. So my y is 1 less than 3 times negative 2 minus 5. And then on this one right here, I'm going to do, this is my x and my y. It's going to be 3 less than 3 times 0 minus 5. So one of these is going to be true. So I'm going to go back to the calculator. Okay, now then I'm going to put in the next one. So the next one is going to be my y is negative 1. I'm going to hit Control equal, get my less than, and then 3 times my x is 5, and then minus 5. If this is true, I got my answer. But it is true. Ding, 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 ding. So letter B is going to be the correct answer. So I'm going to go back to my paper. This one would be true. This one would be false and false if we continued. So all you're doing is looking for the one that makes a true statement. Got it? Let's go to number 6. So let's write down y greater than negative 2x plus 4. This is my x and y, x and y, x and y, x and y, correct? You're just going to plug them in. So let's start with A. So my y is 1. Negative 2 times my x is also 1. I'm going to put this in. This is going to be choice A. So let's type it in. So I got 1. I'm going to hit Control equal to get the greater than. And then it is negative 2 times 1 plus 4. Hit enter, and it's false. So all I got to do is keep typing these in until I get the true one. Okay, the next one, I'm going to put these in here for you so you can get this. So this one right here, my y is negative 3, and my x is 1. That's going to be B. Letter C would look like this. My y is 4. I got negative 2 times my x is negative 2 plus 4. And then lastly, for D, you would type this in. My y is 1, negative 2 times 3 plus 4. So I'm going to type all these in. One of them is going to be true. Let's do B. Okay, so I've got for B, my y is negative 3, Control equal. I'm going to pick the greater than, and then negative 2 times, and then I'm going to plug in 1 plus 4. So I have this, hit enter, and it's also false. Let's go to C. Okay, so on letter C, my y is 4. And then I'm going to hit Control equal, get my greater than, negative 2 times, and my x is negative 2 plus 4. Hit enter. That one's false. Hopefully D is correct. So I'm going to type in D, 1, Control equal, get my greater than, negative 2 times 3, and then plus 4. Okay, so hit enter, and ding, 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 D is true. So all the others are false, but D's true. All you got to be able to do is plug those in. Okay, so I'm going to go to the problem. This one was true, so right here, D is the answer. This was false, 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 and true, wasn't it? So all you have to do is be able to type those into the calculator, get the true or false. Number 7, what does the slope of the graph represent? We're going to find the slope and then tell us. Remember, slope is y per x. This is my y, this is my x. So my y is the gallons, my x is the miles. This is going to be gallons per mile in it. Now then, let's actually calculate it. So to calculate it, I need a grid point. I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to go to here. So we're going down 1, negative 1, and we're going over 5, aren't we? So every mile, 1 mile per gallon. That's what that actually means, okay? Per actually 5 gallons, okay? So it's the y per x. So 1 mile per 5 gallons. Or I'm sorry, 1 gallon. Gee, many crickets. Let me erase this. Sorry about this. So it's 1 gallon is my y per 5 miles is my x. So every gallon is giving me 5 miles, okay? So it's the amount of gallons used per mile. And on this one, it would be 5 gallons per mile. Remember, slope is y per x. Piece of cake. Remember, don't count these spaces. Go over, I'm sorry, this is actually 25 to 50 is 25, isn't it? So it's 1 gallon per 25 miles. So every gallon you go 25 miles. I'm sorry, I didn't calculate this. From here to here is 25, isn't it? Okay, number 8. What's the rate of change of the graph with respect to the line? The rate of change is going to be y over x. So it's the change in y over the change in x, right? So we're going to find 2 grid points right here and right here, and then your slope triangle. My slope triangle's up 2 over 1. My slope's going to be 2 over 1 or 2. So make sure you could draw this slope triangle. If I do it here and here, I'm still going up 2 over 1, aren't I? So my slope is the change in y over the change in x. It's the easiest way to do that. Another way to do it is to get these points. This would be 2, 2, and this would be 3, 4. And you would put that into a T-chart. And you would get your M and B. Your M would be your slope, wouldn't it? So if you can't draw the slope triangle, make a T-chart and put that into a spreadsheet. Number 9, we are almost done. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Okay, so you're going to have a problem like this, and you're going to have to get the equations. Okay, so to get the equations, the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to do this line first. I need the M equal and the B equal. Right here is my B. My B is going to be 1. And remember, we want to write these as y equal mx plus b. The next thing I need is my slope. So this is a point. Right here's a point. Here is my slope triangle. So my slope goes down 1 and over 4, doesn't it? So that equation would be negative 1 over 4x plus 1. So you need your y-intercept and you need to make your slope triangle. Same thing on this one. I'm going to switch colors. I need my m and my slope right here. That's my b. Okay, so my b is going to be, I'm going to put m equal b equal. My b is negative 2. Here's another dot. Notice this is going down 1 over 1, isn't it? So my slope is going to be negative 1 over 1 or negative 1. So it's going to be negative 1x minus 2. On the star, it's just going to be negative x minus 2. So this and this are my 2 equations. And the last problem, FUN, 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 fun. We got to get the slope of these points. So we're going to make a T-chart, aren't we? So make your T-chart, 5, 8, and 3, and 12, and put that into the calculator. So I'm going to go to my calculator. I'm going to do hit home, 1. I'm not going to save anything. I want to add a spreadsheet. Type in the x and y. Now then, let's type in this point. It is, let me turn my paper over. We're almost done here. 5 and 3 are my x's. And my y's are 8 and 12. And then menu, stats, stat calculation, linear regression, x down, y down, enter. And right here is my slope. My slope's negative 2 and my b's 18. So my slope is negative 2 and my b is 18. And we want the slope. So the slope, or m, is negative 2. So my slope is going to be negative 2. Ho, 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 ho. Okay, on the next one, same thing. You're going to make a T-chart. You're going to put it into the calculator. You will not miss this if you're putting them in the calculator. So I'm going to go to my calculator. I'm going to hit home. I'm going to hit 1 for new. I don't want to save a spreadsheet. Click 4. Type in your x and y at the top. Won't work if you don't do that. My x's are negative 3 and 5. And my y's are 6 and negative 4. And then menu 4, 1, 3. X, you get real quick at this. Down, y, down, enter. Ho, 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 ho. So this is my slope. This is my y-intercept. Your slope's probably going to be a fraction. So hit Control-C to copy. Then I'm going to hit Home, A. I'm going to hit Control-V to paste. And then Menu, Number, Approximate to Fraction, hit Enter, and my slope's going to be negative 5 over 4. So I'm going to go to my paper. The slope equals negative 5 over 4. Also, it's negative 1.25. If it were a griddable, you would do negative, or if you had to type it in, it would be negative 1.25, would it? Okay, let's do the last one. So we're going to have x and y. We're going to put this into a spreadsheet, 4 and 2, 8 and negative 4. I'm going to go to the calculator, hit home, click 1 for new, don't click it, don't save it, click 4, and then type in your x and y. Now then type in your spreadsheet. It's 4 and 8 for the x's. Make sure you put your x's in first. 2 and negative 4 for the y's. Hit menu, 4, 1, 3. X down, Y down, and then hit enter. And right here, my M is negative 1.5. I need to make that a fraction. I'm going to copy, Control C, that copies it. I'm going to hit home and A, Control V, paste, and then menu 2, enter. And it's going to be negative 3 over 2 in it. So my slope is going to be negative 3 over 2. I hope you have enjoyed this review. All of the answers are done now except for the evens on the other ones. I will post the key to this in Canvas in the test review module. Remember, you are amazing. You are created to do wonderful things. And you are awesome.